So I want to talk with you today about why resting feels unsafe for high-performing sensitive people. And it's not that you don't value rest, and it's not that you don't want to slow down or you don't know how to slow down. But to many, rest doesn't feel safe. It doesn't feel neutral. When you learn to be emotionally available, reliable, and responsive, slowing down can feel like you're disappearing. It's become a way of how you connect with other people, to constantly be available. And when you slow down, you might wonder, who will notice that I'm not there? Who will I disappoint? What happens if I stop holding the world together? And resting doesn't feel like caring for yourself. Another reason why it may feel unsafe to rest is because when you do, you get in contact with yourself. And emotions that never had space, like sadness maybe, anger, bitterness, anxiety, bottles up. And they feel out of context because they were really coming to you at a time when they wanted to guide you and you didn't pay attention because you were off caring for someone else. So with all of that stored and bottling up, it's just easier to keep going, to stay useful. And in time, identity becomes being useful, and usefulness becomes your identity. So your energy is directed outward. You're not used to charging your own battery. Your energy is just constantly flowing and flowing and pouring out of you towards fixing and solving and helping and caring. And that's a habit. And changing that habit can be really anxious. It feels really, really weird to sit down and for a second allow life to charge you, to allow life to pour into you, to give back. It's that new habit of receiving, of being in receivership, of opening up to let that battery charge and charge and charge. Just like you put a battery in that charging device and into the wall and just letting it stay there. That is something that you will get to used to. And once that is charging more and more and more, and you're allowing that expansiveness, and you're allowing yourself to take up that space that is truly yours, you're not taking up anyone else's space, you're just taking up your own space. And if you don't, the world is going to miss out on you. You will learn to keep that for yourself, for your value, for the way that you are allowed to enjoy this life and not have it just rush through you to be given to someone else once you have it. Your life force is for you. And some of you have been or find yourself in relationships where you are actually trained not to spend too much time with yourself. It may bring up friction, it may bring up conflict, because that's a threat to authority. When you spend that time with yourself and your nervous system slows down, that's when you really connect with knowing your side of the fence and knowing your boundaries, and maybe getting in touch with some anger that helps you set those boundaries in a nice way. And that's really interesting. Pay attention to the people that offer you plenty and plenty of space. So of course you feel unsafe resting. That makes total sense. Your nervous system learned that staying alert preserved connection, that keeping yourself useful preserved the peace, and that slowing down carried risk. There is nothing wrong with you. Your system adapted. And what I keep seeing over and over again with clients going on that journey together of homecoming and first coming home to yourself and then expanding from there, is that highly sensitive high performers have an enormous capacity. When all that energy that has gone into holding everything together is met with inner safety, there is no longer need for the control. And that sensitivity turns into creativity, authentic power, and vision. And not because they become someone else, but because they are no longer surviving. So if you take one thing away from this video, resting doesn't start feeling safe because of something that happens outside of you. It becomes safe when the relationship to yourself changes. When you start feeling safe in your own company.